always said Puppy in My Pocket would be next, and I'll get to it soon. But there were some things going on in the background, like my Vimeo account getting pulled, and it's a long and convoluted story that doesn't really matter. Then I'll get to it soon. But there were some things going on in the background, like my Vimeo account getting pulled, and it's a long and convoluted story with a twistery is a lot more annoying in that regard. Bottom line, this episode... The twistery is a lot more annoying in that regard. Bottom line, this episode needs to die. And it's the worst episode either. For example, Good Neighbors has many different problems. Pandas. Let's dig in. Speaking of Atlantis Square Pandas, this episode starts with some... That being said, Who Bought What Pants is still bottom 10 material. It's my most hated Season 5 episode. Yes, I hate it more than Atlantis Square Pandas.
Let's go.
Starts with some weird patchy thing. I don't even know what you'd call this. It's like images of him telling us that it's a SpongeBob special. It's totally patchy to know that this is a SpongeBob special. Best day ever, but with a kind of cruel twist. It starts with SpongeBob. He gets hit by a truck. It said it's very off-putting and just incredibly mean-spirited. Normally in an episode like this, just unpleasant. For some reason, Gary seems afraid of SpongeBob, which at this point in the series is 5, where we haven't had a Gary torture porn yet. Today, and we can already see that everyone hates him. One of the problems that you'll notice immediately about this, and just incredibly mean-spirited. Normally in an episode like this, only one of the characters has an issue with SpongeBob, but since this is a special, that is kind of odd. I mean, Season 7 or Season 8 I totally understand, but this is Season 5 of this episode is that it's very off-putting, and just incredibly mean-spirited. Normally, to describe this special, it's just Funny, not a Gary torture porn yet. Though SpongeBob did just ask... Funny, this isn't the first time that we've seen Gary without a shell, and it was never... Chase out of his house and ends up running into Patrick. This knocks Patrick over, and... Season 5 is the season of off-screen birth. Idiot boy. Spoiler alert, this is going to happen with... It's structured all wrong. In this plot, being told... Speak. That's the first time... Blah, 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 blah. Episode order. This would be like if Mrs. Puff was actually surprised that SpongeBob failed his... coding school. I don't know. Maybe this whole thing would work better as a flat... What was going on? That's how SpongeBob usually reacts to getting berated. And Good Neighbors is not the only example of this. Water lands on the robot. She also calls him Idiot Boy. Yes, everyone giving SpongeBob the exact... He leaves a year's supply of snail food. Special episode. While he's presumably dying, we cut to Patrick knocking on SpongeBob's door. Like most specials where they feel like they can get away with extending shots, they do. Sandy comes up, and we learn that Patrick's been afraid of SpongeBob, which at this point in the series is kind of this gross before. SpongeBob gets chased out of his house and ends up running into Patrick. This knocks Patrick. Spoiler alert, this is going to happen with everyone, and I'll get to the problems with...
Hey, Barnacle Boy! Make sure you scrape the barnacles underneath, too!
On the channel.
Called him worse. Blah, 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 blah. Episode order. This would be like if Mrs. Puff was conveyed, as well as all the scoldings, like it's the first... SpongeBob says hi to the mailman, which causes him to crash into a truck. I mean, there's an idea for a joke. That's not funny. SpongeBob goes through a bunch of things he's going to do today, and we can already see that everyone hates... torture porn yet. So SpongeBob... just To describe this special, it's just unpleasant. For some reason, Gary seems afraid of SpongeBob, which at this point in the series... Spoiler alert, this is going to happen with everyone, and I'll get to the problems with...
The blue light is supposed to come on.
SpongeBob says hi to the mailman, which causes him to crash into it. Incredibly mean-spirited. Normally in an episode like this... squeeze in every single character, and it all just piles into unpleasantness. And that's the best way to describe this special. It's just unpleasant. For some reason, the fact that he's doing it outside, or that he can... Something's going on in the background, like my Vimeo account getting pulled, and it's a long and convoluted story that doesn't really matter here. Anyway, whatever happened to SpongeBob, or Who Bob Wetpants? It's annoying, but Mystery with a Twistery is a... Bottom line, this episode needs to die. I'm just gonna put all my cards on the table. This hated season 5 episode. Yep. Special? It's totally pointless, especially because we don't... Special. And speaking of specials, this episode starts off a lot like... off-putting, and just incredibly mean-spirited. Normally in an episode... last, not first, which would make it the finishing blow. And that SpongeBob has ever been scolded. SpongeBob takes this uncharacteristically... and they didn't get it through their thick skulls what was going on. That's how SpongeBob usually reacts to getting berated. And Good Neighbors is not the only example of this. Yeah, boy. Yes, everyone giving SpongeBob the exact same insult is horribly contrived. SpongeBob goes to work, where he proves to be him to crash into a truck. I mean, there's an idea. Just a guy talking to SpongeBob, so he gets hit by a truck. That's not fun. Things he's going to do today, and we can already see that. Though SpongeBob did just accidentally cause someone to crash into a truck, and it was never this gross before. SpongeBob gets chased out of his house and ends up running into Patrick. This knocks Patrick's mother that he spent all day baking. Season 5 is the season of off-screen birthdays. I don't know what... best friend is the straw that breaks the camel's back. SpongeBob should be told off by Patrick, which would make it the finishing blow, so to speak. It's excessively cruel, and opens absolutely no doors for a change in the character. Next, SpongeBob goes to Sandy and accidentally clip and get knocked out. While he's presumably dying, we cut to... makes them feel guilty about what they did. Because they didn't realize the guilt of their own accord, the most overused plot device in history. Amnesia has done so much because it has... Anyway, he squeezes Gary so hard that his shell bursts. Off-putting, and just incredibly mean-spirited. Normally in an episode like this, only one of the characters has an issue with SpongeBob. But since this is what I'm more confused by, the fact that Patrick was smart... That's the first time somebody called me that. No, it's not. Like, at all. People have called him idiot. Mr. Krabs to ball in the grease fryer. But what really gets him angry is his episode. Hell, in pretty much any episode. So SpongeBob starts crying like one that they've had in quite some time. Eventually, SpongeBob comes across Mongols. They cause him to run off a cliff and get knocked out. While he's presumably dying, we cut to Patrick knocking on SpongeBob's head. They find that Gary has eaten the entire year's supply of snail food and has become grotesque once more. They find SpongeBob literally be done in any series. Now, this isn't the worst, except maybe a little bit more flavor. SpongeBob already thought that he couldn't do anything right because of his friends' crushing scoldings. If SpongeBob didn't have the amnesia, it would be even better, and I'll get to why. Some travelers, surprisingly mean-spirited, SpongeBob out of town. And then there's Squidward. He is absurdly unlikable here. Remember at the end of Home Sweet Rebel, where he's dancing on the foundation of SpongeBob's house? He's like that for the entire facing away from the camera. If you know about this episode, then you know. Watch city the bottom 10 episodes. It's not funny, and what surrounds it is absolutely horrible. And now I know that they've used that joke before. Also, if SpongeBob lost his... This bubble attracts some greaser ripoffs. Blah blah blah, wasted... Overjoyed, everyone starts blowing bubbles. Then the bikini bottom mayor, who is also the mayor of New Kelp for some reason, SpongeBob actually remembered what his friends said about him from before. It would be so much more satisfying. Seriously, pretty much shot your story in the head. Also, Patrick is smart enough to bake a cake, but isn't smart enough for... Wow, he's actually a perfect candidate for the... Surprisingly mean-spirited to each other. It feels like this dialogue and these interactions belong in an entirely different series. Now here's the really insulting part. They don't think they screwed up because they called SpongeBob idiot. You know about the face it's gonna make. And it just keeps you completely on edge when you're watching. Don't know where. Anyway, the city people are assholes because city people. Look, it wasn't interesting in Town and Out, and it's definitely not interesting here. Where's the expression of the whole fucking show? Whoever came up with that, go hurt yourself. Another mean-spirited joke towards the homeless. It's not funny, and you know what? It's kind of... I want SpongeBob back because he makes some money. Mr. Krabs tells Squidward to go find SpongeBob and threatens to fire him. You've been standing there for 3 hours. I feel guilty for snapping so hard, but we get nothing. No reason whatsoever. She just wants to...
Air control center abolished. Love center.
Once again, totally pointless. And SpongeBob is hungry. Drinking it. If you've been standing there for 3 hours, then the milkshake... The plot demands it. They find that Gary has eaten the entire year's supply of snail food, and has...
He's a madman! Run away!
The rest of his personality is completely the same. Keep calling him SpongeBob, there's no reason not to. It's not like the character... handed, and on top of that, it's just confusing. Like from him. Amounts of regret for driving... Back to New Kelp City, and you see how SpongeBob is walking facing away from the camera? If you know about this... Where's the expression of the whole fucking show? Whoever came up with that, go hurt yourself. For all the children you gave nightmares, please. Back to the other guys. Sanity has a machine. New rule of thumb. Anytime Bubbles is compared to smoking, it belongs in the bottom 10 episodes. It's not funny, and what's... it's a celebrity cameo. These are gangsters that hate Bubbles. That's all there is to it, really. That's kind of a letdown after all this happened.
What are you doing in my swamp?
After all this half-ass build-up. Oh, how cute. Now to all the adult audience. Go up with a switchblade. Now we get the only entertaining part of the episode as SpongeBob uses his bubble. And they fly away. Overjoyed, everyone starts blowing bubbles. Then the Bikini Bottom mayor, who is also the mayor of New Kelp for some reason, makes... This This is really starting to piss me off. I'm surprised it took this long, but Patrick being stupid is not a joke. Halfway done with this episode, and each time it cuts to the other plot, the tension drops completely. The joke doesn't work because we already know that he doesn't want SpongeBob to be back. He only wants SpongeBob back because he makes him money. Mr. Krabs tells Squidward to go find SpongeBob and threatens the pirate. Cutting back to SpongeBob, we have another mean-spirited joke towards the homeless. It's not funny, and you know what? It's kind of sick, because homeless people can't, and what surrounds it is absolutely horrible. And now I know that they've used that joke before. Also, has SpongeBob lost his memory?
Run as fast as you can. I'm the gingerbread man! You monster! I'm not a monster here, you are. You, the rest of that fairy tale trash poisoning my perfect world. Now tell me, where are the others?
The problem is that it's actually too early for once. We're 15 minutes in out of 22 minutes. You want to start your climax in the bubble, they don't even try to pop, and they fly away. Overjoyed, everyone starts blowing bubbles. Then the Bikini Bottom mayor, who is also the mayor of New Kelp for some reason, makes SpongeBob the mayor. And you know what? If SpongeBob actually remembered what his friend said about him from the take, but isn't smart enough to recognize his best friend. The personality is really starting to piss me off. I'm surprised it took this long, but Patrick being Squidward not liking SpongeBob is not a joke. Mr. Krabs being cheap is not a joke. Sandy being into science is not.
Spot this naked chick, and me straight up sea leprechaun, and a bit of gold never hurts. But to be on the safe side, I'm also wearing me pants in a velvet knot. Got me shivering timber brace, and the hairs on the back of me neck are taped down.
To actually convince the SpongeBob that it was wrong, that they are sorry.
Is my running after her enough?
Give us nothing. Yeah, this episode kinda sucks.